The secret to taking control of your life. Most of us don't inherit a lot of money or win the lottery. Most of us don't feel comfortable having our way paid by someone else our entire lives. All of us start out needing help. All of us start as a tiny, naked, screaming baby, helpless. But we don't stay that way. If we survived, it was because we got help that we didn't earn or deserve. It was given to us. Eventually, we learned to take care of ourselves and then take care of others. We become the primary givers for a while. Eventually, we learned to take care of ourselves and then take care of others. We became the primary givers for a while. And eventually, we'll get old or infirm, mentally or physically, and unable to care for ourselves again. It's a circle. Our hope is that someone will care for us again at the end. So our task now is to learn to walk and then learn to run, to bring value to the world in the things that we create, and by bringing that value, reap rewards. If we're smart, we'll be rewarded well for what we produce. I should also say that it's quite possible to be very successful financially through theft, or means that may be legal but still are technically theft. But thankfully, that's not a life that very many of us want. Do you want a business or a life that takes without adding to the world? Or do you want to build a business that benefits others while it benefits you and the ones you love? The more we build and create for others, the more we add to the world, the more meaning we add to our lives and satisfaction we derive from it. So how do we create a business that is driven by benefiting others? It's simple. You find pain and provide solutions to that pain. As real estate investors, we're constantly looking for people in pain who we can help. There are two types of pain that sellers experience: need and greed. With need, we can solve the problems caused by the pain of owning a property a seller doesn't want or need. With greed, we can also help people who have a property, but we help them make more money with that property. Let me give you an example of a house we purchased recently from someone who needed pain relief. Last week, we bought a cheap house in a rural area for $19,000. It needed $10,000 worth of work to bring it up to a value of $75,000. Once it's fixed up, it'll rent for $650 a month. Taxes and insurance run about $100 a month. We bought it with no money by having the seller carry a contract for deed. Our payments are $300 a month, principal only. It's an interest-free loan. That means every payment we make goes 100% towards principal. If you divide $19,000, the purchase price, by $300, the monthly payment, you get 63 payments. Divide that by 12 months, that's a little over 5 years. So we own a $75,000 property free and clear in 5 years. We also had to put $10,000 into it to get it ready for a lease option tenant. The lease option tenant will give us $7,500 down, so we get most of our cash back right away. If I didn't have $10,000, I could easily have sold this to another real estate investor for $10,000 or more over what I paid for it. I would assign my right to buy to a new buyer and they could do the fix-up. But since I have the money to do the work, it makes a lot more sense for me to keep the property, the equity, and the income. Buying it from the seller got him out of a property he didn't want and a headache he didn't have the capacity to deal with. So that's an example of buying a property from a seller in need. The second example is buying from a seller who wants to make more money. Greed. Here's one that we did just recently. The seller had a $350,000 property. He owed $250,000 on the house and had $100,000 of equity. If he sold the property using a realtor, it would cost him about 10% of the sale price, $35,000. That includes realtor fees, closing fees, repairs, title insurance, those types of things. Instead of giving away that equity, he allowed us to sell the property for him on a lease with an option to buy. We got him his entire $350,000 as a sale price plus monthly rent income that'll cover the mortgage and give him a few $100s a month in positive cash flow. We raised the price by 10%, $35,000 to $385,000, and put it on the market for sale on a lease option. We asked the new buyer to come up with 10% down, half in cash and half as a promissory note with $400 a month payments. The seller gets a buyer at full price. They also make money with multiple streams of income. They're going to make positive cash flow, depreciation on their taxes, the buy down on the note each month, and if the buyer doesn't exercise their option, appreciation on the value of the property over time. We made $35,000, half in cash, $17,500, and half as a promissory note that pays $400 a month for about 3.5 years. The new lease option buyer gets a home for their family, something they couldn't have done with a conventional loan. So we serve the sellers and the buyers that we work with. We solve their problems and we make money. The more people we help, the more money we make. Doing deals like this gives us control of our business and our lives with nothing more than a signature and the ability to create a deal and talk to a seller. If you would like my help building a business like this, you should consider getting into my 6-month mentor program. If you'd like me to take you by the hand personally and lead you along the path and through the minefield, you should consider getting into my program. If you want to work with me personally, you can find out all about my 6-month program at zerodowninvesting.com. This website will show you how my program works, what's included, what it costs, what you can expect from me, and what I expect from you if you sign up. There are 3 training videos on the site that go into great detail about what you need to do to build a profitable real estate investing business. They add up to about 2 hours of education. I call them my advanced training because that's exactly what they are. In fact, if you know nothing about real estate, they may be a bit over your head. The techniques I teach in these videos come from my personal experience, and you won't find this information anywhere else. If you aren't interested in working with me personally, or you can't afford to join my mentor program, these 3 videos will still be worth your while. They'll give you an overview of my entire business and show you how to model your business after the step-by-step systems I've created. Even if you ultimately decide not to join my mentor program, I can safely say this advanced training program can completely transform your thinking about building a real estate investing business. I think these training videos are one of the best training programs I've ever created, and they don't cost you a dime. They distill my 35 years as an investor and my 20 plus years as a coach and give you a powerful outline of how to build a profitable, consistent, reliable, ethical, peaceful business. They give you the milestones, benchmarks, and standard operating procedures you need to succeed. All right, that's it for today. Good deals aren't hard to find if you have the skill to craft an offer that makes sense. I hope you'll join me. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button below. You can also go to joecrumpblog.com and sign up for my free email newsletter. I put out a lot of free information there that you can't find anywhere else.